Hi and welcome to the second boss guide here in Sunwell Plateau. Second boss will be Brutallus, and we'll actually have the third boss, Madragosa, here, who turns into Felmist. So between Brutallus and Felmist, there's zero trash. There's only like one or two trash packs between Kalagos and Brutallus. There's luckily not a lot you need to clear before you get to face off against this boss. Brutallus is probably strategically one of the easiest bosses in the game. He is a patchwork fight and only has 4 mechanics. 3 of them actual mechanics, the 4th one is just an enrage timer. The reason why enrage timer is important here is because Brutallus is probably the first boss in WoW history that has an actual enrage timer. The enrage timer is 6 minutes, and it's quite hard to get the DPS to kill him within this time. Now, we'll go through the mechanics first, and then I'll go through how to deal with it. So the first mechanic is burn. This dot stays on for 60 seconds. It starts out at 100 damage per second, and then it doubles up every 10 seconds. So it doubles up to 200, 400, 800, 1600, and then it ends off at 3200 damage per second in the final 10 seconds. This also spreads to any person within 5 yards of a person afflicted by the debuff, so it's important that throughout this fight you stay aware of people with burn around you and don't walk close to them. There's no problem being within other people initially, but this debuff happens every 20 seconds where a random raid member is inflicted by it, so try to stay spread through this whole fight. The other mechanic is Stomp. This is cast every 30 to 35 seconds. It's a tank debuff only. It removes burn from a tank if the tank appears to have the burn, and it also reduces armor by 50% for 10 seconds. Now, this is massive, seeing as Brutallus hits very, very, very hard. He hits both main hand and offhand, and hits for roughly 6k main hand, 3k offhand. His melee swings could be a mechanic in of themselves, almost. So this is quite a healing intensive fight, just like Kalagos. So yeah, just healers, be aware. Tanks, use your cooldowns appropriately and accordingly. The third mechanic, and the final mechanic apart from the enrage time of 6 minutes, is Meteor Slash. Meteor Slash is a frontal cone with unlimited range. This deals 20,000 fire damage, split amongst every person hit. And it also applies a fire debuff that increases fire damage taken by 75% for 40 seconds. Meteor Slash is used roughly every 11 to 13 seconds. After 3 stacks of this, we'll swap tanks. Now, I'll just engage him down here so you can see some of the abilities. This is essentially just a DPS race, and doesn't have much to it apart from positioning. Positioning is very key, and if you look at the website, we'll split the raid into 2 groups, soaking the Meteor Slash. Now, we won't just stand straight opposite of each other like this, because this leaves very little room for melee, and doesn't leave a no parry zone for most of the fight. It also makes it hard for there to be a safe spot in case you get burn. So what you want to do is you kind of want to angle Brutallus like so, here. So he cleaves behind me, out in this pattern. So people stand behind me, up close to this tree, and if range or healers get burn, then they can move down into this area around here. This should be safe then, if he's facing like so. We can also leave a safe spot open here for melee, who will never be soaking the Meteor Slash. It's a good idea to drag Brutallus down a little bit, just so there's more room looking up at the tree. So one group will be standing here, see I'm getting Meteor Slash debuffs here, and the other group will be standing off in this direction. This should still leave this back room here as a no parry zone. It's incredibly important that melee don't soak the Meteor Slash, because if they're hitting and they're parry hasting Brutallus, he will just murder a tank. Like you can see my health here, it's actually starting to drop, even though this is on retail and much higher level than the boss. Whereas on the Kalagos fight, it was quite hard for me to die. Now, as soon as it reaches 3 stacks, like I said, we'll swap tanks. So tanks will just be swapping in like the frontal cone here. Melee stay at the back. Worry about parry hasting. And we'll leave these zones open in case range get burn. It's important that players who have burn don't soak the meteor slash because of the increased fire damage. So if you have meteor slash just once and you get burned, then the later stages will do like an insane amount of damage. So you want to make sure that you don't get hit by that. Other than that, there's not much to it. It's just a straight up DPS check. 6 minutes in rage. He has a lot of health. Don't look at this bit. Doesn't work. It's retail. But yeah, just kill boss, get loot, really. After you kill Brutallus, it's a good idea to move away quickly over here, just so that when Fell Mist arrives, you're not engaging the boss directly. Also, this green goo, stay out of here. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next boss guide.